The Mandalorian main theme by composer Ludwig Göransson has become one of the most recognizable themes from the post-John Williams era of Star Wars music. The music by Göransson expertly captures an ancient tribal feeling, while also being able to pay tribute to the spaghetti westerns that its creators were so heavily inspired by. Today, I'll be breaking down exactly how this iconic music is able to evoke so much. This is Star Wars Music Analysis.
Do it.
There are actually a lot of elements of short motifs within the Mandalorian theme that add to its full theme. But the first and most unique part of the score is that bass recorder that Göransson begins the theme with. The idea of using a recorder immediately reflects so much of what makes us intrigued by the Mandalorian culture to begin with. This is a culture that dates back well before the Old Republic and has a history woven through eons of history in the Star Wars galaxy. Much of that history is still shrouded in mystery and intrigue for us as viewers even today. But the recorder is one of the oldest instruments, and certainly one of the oldest wind instruments, simply being a hollowed out piece of wood. So when we hear that recorder sound in general, we immediately become transported back thousands of years within our own history. But when we think about the idea of a spaghetti western, it can be hard to disconnect from the wild frontier, just like that of the Outer Rim in Star Wars, and of the indigenous tribes that were native to those areas long before Western explorers. That recorder sound also connects us with the cultures of many of these Native American indigenous tribes, as it sounds very similar to that of Native American flutes. That iconic connection has been used in spaghetti westerns as well, but Göransson has truly owned this sound as a signature part of the Mandalorian soundtrack. But that ancient feeling goes even further than just the instrument itself in this opening motif. That interval of a perfect fifth oscillating back and forth is one of the lowest intervals in the overtone series. Because of this, it becomes one of the easiest and simplest melodic intervals that can be played. This led to it being prominently played on horns that didn't have any way to change pitch except through changes in air pressure. Because of this, the interval of a perfect fifth became synonymous with ancient hunting and war calls as a way to communicate over long distances as well, further tying this initial motif directly to what we imagine as the ancient warlike culture of the Mandalorians. After the initial perfect fifth, the music misdirects us by moving to the minor seventh, the minor third, and then the perfect fourth intervals. As it completes this cycle, percussion begins to thrash through. The cymbals and drums that enter are aggressive and reflect the warlike culture of the Mandalorians. The chaos continues to build until a moment of silence, followed by an answer to the chaos in the ascending perfect fourth from the dominant fifth scale degree to the tonic first scale degree, finally giving us a clear minor key. The rhythm that picks up next in the low floor tom and eventually the bass as well becomes an ostinato through most of the rest of the theme, driving the motion rhythmically forward. I believe what's actually being used here though is a Native American bass drum that was often used for ceremonies and rituals called powwows, often with a simple pulsing. And this again ties our Mandalorians in with the ancient and rich cultures of the indigenous tribes of our own galaxy. But it also makes reference to some of the more cliche characters and moments from the old spaghetti westerns that our space gunslinger story is based off of. The rhythm of the theme is more complex though than that simple pulsing, as it's a repetitive 8th and 2/16ths, and this is no mere coincidence. This is the same rhythm that comes up over and over again in Rossini's William Tell Overture. most prominently known for its use in the Lone Ranger TV series, where it was used for its rhythmic similarity to a horse's gallop. And I'm sure that this was another level of rhetorical connection for Göransson to the cowboy spaghetti westerns of old American cinema. The music itself utilizes the natural minor or Aeolian mode throughout. This mode, denying the listener the leading tone of more modern tonal systems, is one of the oldest modes in existence, and its origins date back long before music began being written down. We explore it when we study ancient Greek music, and it immediately connects us with something more ancient and ritualistic. It's the same reason that Williams chose to use the Aeolian mode for the Force theme. It represents something too ancient to even fathom. And that's the case for these Mandalorians as well. If you've ever played the Knights of the Old Republic games, you know that Mandalorian culture is rich and complicated, and it has come to dominate much of recent Star Wars media as well, while still being shrouded heavily in mystery. As the melody enters, it begins with a syncopation. This immediate avoidance of the downbeat creates rhythmic tension and energy, and that pattern continues with later entrances as well, leaving the theme and its character from ever feeling truly grounded in one place or stable. Orchestrationally, it also works perfectly to balance with the motion in the bass, which works to fill in those gaps with motions to the next bass note, almost creating a duet or conversation between these two parts. The theme remains mostly simple harmonies, but as it finishes, the surprising Neapolitan sixth chord, a major chord in first inversion, built off of a lowered second scale degree, comes in. Its resolution is delayed by a minor 4 and major flat 7 chord before the dominant finally returns us to the tonic. These little flurries of harmonic complexity set us up for the later climax. That's where the music actually shifts to a major mode as the third scale degree is raised. This immediately gives the theme a bright, heroic, and triumphant feeling that's often taken up by the brass. However, this is only achieved after the initial minor 4 chord. This transition from a minor 4 to a major tonic chord over and over gives the triumphant climax an almost bittersweet feeling. It's a bright triumph, but still harking from a dark past. The motion between these two chords continues to bounce back and forth, moving eventually to the fully diminished 7 chord, as well as the tension reaches an all-time high before finally relaxing back into the original ostinato. It's a daring theme and clear embarking from the romantic themes of John Williams, but I'm also curious what all of you think about this theme. Do you feel it works well in the Star Wars universe? And does it fit the character of Din Djarin and the overall show, even after 3 seasons of dramatic changes? Tell me in the comments below what you think, and consider checking out my Patreon page using the link in the description, where you can help support this channel for as little as $1 a month, or download PDFs and MP3s of projects as I complete them, along with other perks at higher tiers. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to learn more about the music of a galaxy far, far away, and as always, may the be with you.